Hi guys, so I had some requests last week for my next video. One was pizza and one was veggies, so I thought this would be the perfect way to combine both. So today I'm going to be making a cauliflower crust for pizza. Big move for Italians, you guys. Not only am I not even bothering with whole wheat flour, I'm not using flour at all. Doing that with pizza? Whoa, making moves over here. Okay, to make this crust, you need 1 head of cauliflower, and what you're going to do is, I've already done it, but basically you have your cauliflower head, you're just going to, clean it off, break it up into these pieces, rinse it off, and then what I find is the easiest and fastest way to do is just put it in a food processor, and you're going to rice it, which means it's just going to get like very, very small and fine pieces. So we'll just do that really quickly, and you're just going to see how it's like getting all granulated. So you're just going to do that until it mixes, and maybe if I could get this open that would help. I'll have to take this thing out first. I haven't used this in a while. Okie dokie. So I'll just show you really quickly before I finish grinding it up, but this is what you want it to look like. It's like literally, it's called ricing it. So you're just going to do it so it forms these very small little granular pieces. Alright, so I'm going to finish doing this real quick and show you what it all looks like together and then talk next steps. Alright, so after I had a fight with my food processor, we have finally finished ricing the head of cauliflower. So this is what it looks like I showed you a little bit before. It's literally just all blended and made into very small, fine, almost like a very coarse dough. So once you've done this, what I'm going to do now is I just have a strainer in a bigger pot with a couple of inches of water. You're going to want to steam this for like maybe 10 minutes. So that would be our next step. So we'll just put this in the colander in the pot with the water and then steam it for 10 minutes. And once that's done, I'll get back to you. So we've steamed our cauliflower. It looks exactly the same as it did before, except now it's just steamed. What you're going to do next is just put it in a bowl, and we are going to put it in the refrigerator so it cools completely, or you can leave it out and let it cool down to room temperature on its own. But what's super important is that I've heard about this happening to people. What's super important is that you do not try to squeeze out the liquid right now, because you will burn the crap out of your hands. This is still super hot. That's why you just want to get it cold, and then you can squeeze all the excess water out when it's cold so that you don't burn yourself. So we're gonna let this cool, and then I'll get back to you when we're ready to strain it. Cauliflower is cool. So the next step is we want to drain all the excess fluid out. So you're going to use a cheesecloth. You can use a very thin dish towel too, but I just find that the cheesecloth is better because it really lets the water out. So you're going to put all the cauliflower in your cheesecloth, and you're just going to start squeezing all of that water out. Cauliflower is a very wet vegetable, so you should be squeezing like probably at least a 1/4 cup of fluid out of this. And that's where all your muscles come in, because you just got to get it all out. If you don't, then you're going to have a really wet crust, and it's just not going to bake right, and it's going to be really soggy and runny. And when you put your egg and your cheese and everything to bind it, it's just not going to form a good crust. So just do this, keep going until you get as much liquid out as possible. Oh my god, this actually really hurts my hand. Yeah, this is probably the hardest part. But I'm gonna keep doing this, but as you can see, like you're getting a ton of liquid out of this. So just keep doing this until no more liquid comes out. All the water out, and now you can see it looks a little bit more dry and it's very kind of granular. So now we are ready to put all the ingredients to make the crust. So we're gonna have some shredded mozzarella and parmigiano and some seasonings. I use oregano, some garlic powder, and salt. And then let's mix that really quickly. So this is what it looks like. And then your binding ingredient is your egg. So we'll add that in. And then you're just gonna mix that together. So this is what it looks like. It's all kind of starting to stick together. And now we are going to put the mixture on a piece of parchment paper on, I have a pizza baking tray, but you can use a cookie sheet, it doesn't matter, whatever you have. And then we are going to form the dough. So in contrast to regular dough where you would have a rolling pin and you would roll it out, because this is so granular, you basically just put it down and slowly spread it out and push it around with your hand. You can't use a rolling pin on this because it'll just fall apart. So you want to just keep spreading it out. I would say you want this to stay about ½ an inch thick so that it keeps a nice shape and it doesn't fall apart when you cut it. And the fun part is you can make this into any shape you want. You could make a rectangle pizza, a square pizza, whatever. You can make a little Mickey Mouse pizza if you want. It's really easy to move around and put it in whatever shape you want. So I'm just gonna make mine round, and that's about it. Super easy. You want to keep it, you know, not too thin, and if you want, you can go back around and kind of make a little bit of an actual edge to it. So once you've done this, what I like to do that some recipes don't call for is to cool it. So what I do now at this point is I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about ½ an hour. I find that doing that before you put it in the oven to bake actually makes it hold together better when it's baking and then when you cut it. Alright guys, so this has been in the refrigerator now for about ½ an hour. So as you can see, it's just the same dough we formed, except now it's more dense and it's cold, so it's more solid. This was in the oven for 20 minutes. You can see you're just going to leave it in there until it gets this nice golden brown kind of rim around it. So then you take it out, and now we just put the toppings. So I'm going to put some shredded mozzarella, chopped artichokes, olives, potatoes. So it's nice and colorful and it looks pretty. You need to have a pretty pizza. And now we will put this back in the oven for about another 15 minutes until it gets a little bit more golden, and then we'll see what it looks like. Looks delicious. Look at this beautiful pizza, nice and golden brown. I can't wait to eat it. It's gonna be super awesome. I'm just gonna let it sit for like 2 minutes so it settles and then slice into it. I'll let you guys know how it is. Buon appetito!